Live from the 6th Street, Tarantotoy and Friends.
Parekoys and Marekoys, good day to you all and welcome to the Tarantotoy and Friends podcast. I hope you're all doing well today, and today is a very special day because today, Tarantotoy and Friends goes to Barcelona, España. Our friend today is one of my best friends whom I have known for 21 years. He attended Paref Southern School for Boys with me during my grade school and high school days. He graduated from the University of Asia and the Pacific with a degree in Integrated Marketing Communications. Most importantly, a certified Alabangers OG. And now I am very personally proud that he is taking his talents and expertise in Barcelona, España, as he embarks in his new academic journey in Spanish higher education. Parekoys and Marekoys, Tarantotoy and Friends gives to you Mr. Maki Aguirre. Before we get started, the Tarantotoy and Friends team wants to say thank you for making time for us despite your busy schedule and the time difference between Asia Pacific and Europe. And without further ado, it's pod time. How are you, Maki? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Peg. Thanks, Peg. Thanks for the great introduction. I'm doing great. I just wanted to thank you for inviting me here to your podcast. It's a pleasure.
Of course.
Yes, I'm doing great. I'm here right now in my room. Doing good.
So bro, I'm doing good. Of course, here in Manila, the pandemic is still going on, but definitely, I found my new purpose. So here we are today. So let's get right into it, brother. Right now, if I'm correct, you are now in Barcelona, Spain, no?
Yes, I am here right now in
okay.
Barcelona.
So
I just recently arrived a month ago, more or less.
Month ago. So you're there for higher education, no? You're
Yes,
gonna study
correct.
there. Oh, so what made you decide to pursue higher education in Barcelona, Spain?
So, because initially, ever since high school, I really wanted to live abroad and study and live abroad. So ever since I graduated college, I was already saving up to take up masters. So I studied for like I worked for like 5 years, and then when that point came, like just a few months, earlier this year, I told my parents na I wanted to study abroad and take masters and live abroad eventually after graduating. So my parents were in full support, and I decided to take masters because I guess having a degree in like a higher education would give me a better opportunity to find a job here in Spain or to eventually permanently stay here
Oh, wow.
permanently. So
Okay.
yeah, for better opportunities basically. Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, since you're there now, pare, in Barcelona, no, what we want to know is, kamusta yung how was the travel from Manila to Spain? I mean, lalo na right now, of course, there's a global pandemic. So was it hard? How did you find the experience of moving from one country to another, of course, and of course, city to city? How did you find that, and how was the experience, brother? Hope you can share that with us.
Oh yeah, it was pretty hard, especially getting the visa and choosing the schools. Pero initially, kasi I wanted to study in the UK,
Oh,
like
wow.
you.
Okay.
Maybe you could share a little bit about your experience later on.
Yeah,
I was choosing between UK or Germany because initially I wanted Germany because Germany has a very good economy, blah 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 blah. But my parents told me, why don't you choose Spain? Because it's for countries that were colonized by Spain. you only need to stay there for 2 years, so it's easier to get a citizenship there.
Yeah.
So like, okay, might as well. It's an easier option, and the education in Spain is very good as well. So a lot of Filipinos go to Spain to take up higher education, and there are a lot of top schools in Europe that are based in Spain. So regarding naman the visa application,
Yeah.
so because of the pandemic, it actually took me about 6 months to get all the papers, all the documents that I needed, because of the pandemic. It was, yeah, it was very difficult to, I don't know, book all the appointments, to get all my documents apostilled for the student visa. And yeah, it took really long, 6 months. I asked my friends before who studied abroad, and it took them a much shorter time, but because of the pandemic na nga, it took longer. And then basically traveling from Manila to Spain, it was different because prior to that I haven't flown 2 years, so it was a weird
Years.
feeling. And I had to make sure of all the regulations that I had to get before arriving into Spain. Like, did I need to get vaccinated? Were there any specific health documents that I had to provide? So yeah, that was the hard part. So
Oh,
it took quite a while. And then kasi with Spain, so for example, with Rafi, diba Rafi's studying in France right
Paris.
now.
Yes, he's in Paris.
Yeah, so parang they were saying na we needed this vaccination certificate, and then basically in Europe, people were saying na we needed this vaccination certificate. But it was medyo weird because some people, like for Rafi now, when he went to France, they didn't ask for it. Then I had other friends who went to Spain, they didn't need it now. So I was like, should I get it pa ba or not? So basically I ended up not getting it because the appointment process was very long, and it was very hard. So my mom was like, baka you don't need it, don't get it na. So I took the chance, but when I arrived, they didn't ask for it naman. They just asked for a PCR test. So
PCR
it
test.
was all good.
How about the airports naman, bro? Yung like na iya, or if you have any stopovers in the Middle East, or is it straight flight, or kamusta yon? How was that?
Yeah. So it was pretty, so I had a stopover in Dubai, and
Okay.
then I went straight to Barcelona after Dubai. So what happened there was, actually it was pretty hard dun after arriving in Dubai, it was okay na, but in Naiya it was stressful kasi ang daming stop points. Like I had to go to this stop point to present my PCR, blah blah blah. And I almost thought na I was gonna there was a point na, so my flight was at 12:30 a.m. And then at 12 a.m. I was still in immigration. I thought I was gonna get left
Delayed.
behind. So I was
Oh.
getting stressed. There were so many people in the immigration in Emirates and other flights, and their flights were literally like between 12 and 12:30. And during that point in time, we were all discussing na, oh no, baka what will happen? We might get left behind. But apparently because of the pandemic, there was a lack of manpower. So the airlines waited naman for us. So, but it was a stressful moment. But once I got to Dubai, it was very different. No need na for face shields. I
Yes,
threw
yes,
that
face
once I
shield. Oh.
arrived. And then after that, yun, after I left the Philippines, it was very relaxed from that point on.
The
And
rules
then
and
when I got to
regulation.
Spain, yeah, no, not many rules and regulations. When I arrived in
Compared.
Spain, they only asked for the PCR test, and that was it. Yeah.
Okay. And then so you said earlier during the start of the interview, no, that you've been there for a month, na, in
Yes.
Barcelona. So of course, moving from Alabang to Barcelona, I guess it's how do you say, game changer, or I think an eye opener then also. How are you finding it, moving, from one city to another, and of course the country? How is life so far there, bro, in Barcelona? How are you finding it there?
So far it's good naman, pero there are times that I get a lot of homesick.
Hmm.
But so just a short story. I was
Yeah.
supposed to start school in October, but then it got delayed. My start of school got moved to January because a lot of students couldn't get their student visa on time, so my school had to move it. So I told my parents I still wanted to push through with September
Of course.
because yun, I wanted to practice my Spanish and everything. So I went early, and since I don't have class yet, it's been pretty hard making friends.
Mhm.
Since I have no class, I don't know anyone here. But that's why I get homesick a lot. But it's been good naman because I've been joining different meetups, groups like workout groups, language exchanges to meet new people and make friends. So it's been good. But I don't know with you, when you studied in London, how was your experience making? For me, because I got kind of shocked with the culture here in
Yeah.
Spain, pero I don't know London.
No, because at least during my time, it was a very long time ago, no. But when I moved to London, of course, definitely it was an English speaking country, so definitely there were no language barriers that I had encountered. But definitely, with the student accommodation, and I moved in London at September of 2015. So at that time, I arrived in London, and then just maybe a 2 weeks wait, and then it was already class time. But within the 2 weeks wait, we had activities with, like a pre-university semester type. So,
Yeah, with
we
your
had
classmate.
with my future classmates and colleagues also as well, no. So we had this icebreaker, if you want to say. And so when classes started, we kind of knew each other already. And of course, it's English. So definitely, coming from the Philippines, in my perspective, that we're at least an English speaking country, and we, in our educational system, that English is a medium of instruction. We did not have a hard time, at least during my time in London, but definitely in Berlin. When I moved to Berlin, of course, they speak German there. And but prior to that, I studied German at the Goethe Institute in South Kensington in London. So prior to moving to
Mhm.
Berlin, I think same as you, which hopefully you'll share with us in a while. um, I already studied German prior to moving to Berlin. And then at least when I arrived in Berlin, of course, there's some assessment test, placement test, to know which classes you will be put in Goethe Institute Berlin. So I think the Berlin part was a bit more of a struggle because, again, for the language. But as they say, bro, it's easier to learn the language when you're in the city, seeing it every day, hearing it every day, and of
Yes,
course just
correct.
having the confidence to practice it. So how about for you, the Spanish language? Definitely, I know we were under the Spaniards for 333 years, but definitely when the Americans came here to the Philippines, the Spanish language, we don't really practice it anymore, except for, I think, in north of the Philippines,
Ano yun, there's a,
Ilocos. Saan ba yun?
yeah, so to the sea,
Something,
Kaba, something, something. It's very
Chabacano.
similar to there, yeah.
There, the
It's very
Chabacano one.
similar.
Oo. So,
Yes.
how was that, pare? At least, being in Spain, and I guess you studied Spanish prior, or in Manila, did you study in like Instituto Cervantes or anything prior to moving to Spain, or did you arrive in Spain no Spanish language knowledge at all?
No, so actually, prior to arriving to Spain, like this year I started taking up Spanish class in this year of February. So
Mm.
I've been learning Spanish for like more or less around 8 months, and it was a very intensive. It's this website called Slang. So
Hmm.
I have other friends who studied in Barcelona also who recommended it to me. They highly recommend it. So basically, it's a website where you pay $150 per month, and it's
US.
unlimited classes.
This is US.
Yes,
US
100
dollars.
US dollars.
Okay.
So imagine I was really doing intensive Spanish class lessons. I was doing 3 hours per day usually. And the good thing about this is your teachers are, well, most of your teachers are from South America or Latin America. So you really get to speak to natives. But the problem is, so in Spain, they call it Castellano. And then in in Spanish in general, Espanol. So the Espanol in Latin America is a little bit different from the European Spanish. So there's a difference in accent, in a few, in well, not a few, actually, a lot of vocabulary. It's similar to like how people English in the UK
Yeah,
and
definitely.
English in the United States or English in Australia. So there's a difference in accents and vocabulary. So it was a good practice because I really spoke with natives, but nonetheless, when I arrived, it was a little bit hard because of the accent. Their
Yes. Yes.
accent here is very different. But so it took me about maybe 2 weeks to get used to their accent. So when I arrived, and they speak really fast. So when I arrived, I could barely understand it. I could understand naman, pero mga maybe like 30% only.
Mga,
And I
mga,
have to ask them to speak slowly.
mga pokito ba? Pokito. Small. Small only.
See, yeah, poquito.
Pokito.
Very little only.
Oo.
Yeah. So
Oo.
yun. But I highly recommend Baselang for anyone
Hmm.
who wants to learn Spanish. And then, but yeah, right now I'm still struggling with Spanish because, for example, when I arrived, I had to buy a lot of things in
Yeah.
Spanish for the flat or in the supermarket. It took me a while to get accustomed to speaking to them because they speak so fast. And then aside from that, not only in Barcelona do they speak Spanish, they speak Catalan. So ayun pa.
And sorry, for someone like me who's not really familiar with the Spanish region, this Catalan is a different Catalonia.
Yeah,
This dialect
so
is
actually in
dialect or
Spanish
language.
so in Spain there are four major languages, official languages. So
Okay.
it's Catalan, which is most part of like the Catalan region where Barcelona is and other parts. And there's the Basque Basque country, which is in north of Spain,
Mhm.
where they speak Basque. And then I forgot the others, but it's four:
Okay.
Spanish, Basque, and Catalan. I forgot the other one, but there are four official languages that they speak in Spain. So it's just not Spanish
Spanish.
or Castellano.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the impressions of the city, I mean, definitely it's very different from, let's say, Makati or the laid back Alabang, which you used to stay. Barcelona as a city, how are you finding it? Very vibrant, sakto
Oh
lang,
yeah.
just okay.
I think
Have you been going
I'd
around?
say
Have you been going around in Spain with all your
yeah,
free
I,
time?
I'd
Yeah.
say I really like Barcelona. So for example, I've been going to so here in Barcelona, everything seems to be normal already. So the clubs are open, the bars are open, most tourist spots are open. So and then as I said, I go to language exchanges, and there's this regular workout group that I go to.
Mhm.
So if ever you find yourself like in my situation where you arrive early, you're gonna study abroad and you haven't met anyone, like my advice is just, put yourself out there. There are a lot of apps where you could meet a lot of people, make friends and stuff like that. So that's how I've been passing my time. So and to practice my Spanish. So there are
Yeah,
also in Barcelona, there are a lot of people from Latin America. So I have a lot of friends from Latin America who I could practice Spanish with. And yeah, it's basically a lot of things are open here, but like in the streets, we're not allowed to wear masks. But once we go inside a shop or a mall, we have to wear a mask.
So if it's like
So
if
yeah.
it's like indoors, you have to put on. There are health protocols, but when you go outside, let's say in a park or uh, public transportation, not so much.
Yeah, it's
Like
not needed.
open
You're
air
not.
train stations or
Yeah.
big parks. Nothing ano
Yes.
naman.
Or kind of like just walking in the street, you're not required to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then for your since of course you're there to study, no. Are there any expectations or goals that that you have before entering Spanish higher education? Like you feel excited? How are you feeling about that? And what do you think the challenges lie ahead for you?
Um, Actually, I don't know to study and then but I don't know. I'll see what will this masters or higher education will open up for me. But yeah, I'm pretty nervous. Cause there are a bit. I already went through the curriculum and there are a lot of things that have to be done. But I'm just hoping that it would give me a good opportunity to find a job here in Spain and
Okay.
stay permanently.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I think in Spain the education is very good, like in Germany or in UK. So yeah.
All right. So at least, bro, you were able to share with us, no, your initial experiences so far. Again, from moving from the Philippines to Spain, and of course from Alabang to Barcelona in a time of a global pandemic. No, are there any personal statements or advocacies that you want to share with us?
Um, I don't know. I just think that, for example, for me, even though like for example here in Spain, I could be like the minority group,
Yeah.
but just put yourself out there to meet new people, make new friends, and eventually you'll find your group of friends. And it's also important for networking. For example, if you want to find a job here in the future, I don't know, maybe you could give uh some some advice for me, because right now so far I'm meeting people through events, through other stuff. But so far, really my advice is just put yourself out there if you want to meet new people, make new friends. And it's eye-opening to see different cultures, especially when you are the minority
Party.
group. It's really weird, like when I go out and most of the time I'm the only Asian in this event. It's kind
Mhm.
of weird.
Well, at least for me also, since I've been in your position, but it was a pre-pandemic, no. Obviously, it was very hard at first, bro. And I think as you were describing earlier, that you have some challenges to deal with. But I think personally, when January, when you enter your university, no, at least for me, I found it easier to make friends because you're in the same idea, no, same activities, going to school, your classmates now. So definitely there are more interactions, no. And the best part of that during my time was that when I made friends with my classmates, and eventually it was summertime in the UK and also in Europe, I would be visiting them in their home country. So,
Yeah.
I think that's also a good suggestion that maybe you're telling us earlier that you have lots of Latin American friends, no? So maybe one day if you find yourself in visiting those countries, at least for you, bruv, you have friends there to take care of you and give you the local experience. Um, in terms of the studying itself, no, definitely during my time, pre-pandemic London, of course, we were studying on the weekday, but then partying and sightseeing on the weekends. But definitely, it's work-life balance. Sorry, student party, enjoy life balance during my time. And again, it just all takes time, at least when for you, learning the language, the more you talk to the locals, you'll gain the confidence in time. Definitely your hearing skills, your enunciation skills, and eventually, of course, the experiences that you're experiencing now, will make you much more confident later on in being able to adapt
Yes.
into this new chapter of yours, and of course the new country, and hopefully, bro, if I'm there in Barcelona,
Yes.
I hope to see you there.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
actually, yeah,
Mm,
I've been, because I'm not really the type of person to, go up to people,
yeah,
say
yeah.
hi. But, I really have to get out of my
Yeah, comfort zone.
comfort
Yeah,
zone.
bro. I
Yeah.
mean, we're still young, I hope. But but
Yeah.
important thing is that you live life, bro, and definitely life nowadays is, as we know, it's a bit fragile, but I hope that with the remaining time, we can really make the most out of it, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Wait,
right.
so
Yeah.
parang,
Yeah.
regarding so I don't know how, like, how taking up a master's
Yeah.
is. Can you let me know more about your experience? How should I manage my studies?
Yeah, of course. Definitely, I'm not an expert in Spanish higher education, but definitely a two-time expert in British higher education. And yeah, believe it or not, guys, I have two master's degrees, but doesn't seem like it, bro. Pero something like that. But anyway, yeah. Definitely the course is very important because during my time, my first master's was marketing management, and the second one was international media business. So the first masters I had, it was really understanding consumer behavior, uh, marketing in a globalized and digitalized world, and especially now in a pandemic where it's mostly digital transactions have risen up, no, and of course in my second masters, the media itself, using the social media, responsibility on using it, and of course the different tools that we had, no. I'm not sure with Spanish higher education, but my classes kasi were just 10 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. in London. So it was not
I
like
think my schedule is similar.
na
Well,
it's
it's
shortened
the same number of hours per day.
per day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's a challenge, or I think that's the beauty of the, taking up a master's, that, the time, unlike in college or grade school or high school in the Philippines, that, it's really like 8:30, 5:30, that,
Yeah.
your whole day is taken up. So definitely with that time frame in masters, there's a time for everything, definitely. Like, of course, that the commuting time, uh going to class, of course, and if there are any assessments, courseworks, no, after class you go to the library, you plan with your group mates. And that's also one thing pala, bro, that I want to share with you, no, that the beauty of studying international is that you'll be working with different nationalities, different work types. Yeah. So I was saying, from the library, you have time for your group mates to meet up with them. And that's the best part, after say 2:30, 3 p.m., you can do whatever you want. That's why I said, there's a time for everything. You can go to the museums, you can go to the parks, you can go out to social events, and at least for you, you have your health fitness club, so at least you're able to address your health, no? And of course, always, at least for me, and I hope and I pray for also for you, that you also make time for your friends and family who for back here in the Philippines. So for me, bro, I used to call my moms every night, just to get the news, man. You know, so and of course, and on the weekends, I remember you would call me. Or actually, I would call you from London with the time difference, and then catch up with what's going on with Manila, diba?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, definitely. And as time goes on, as the courseworks go on, you can tell what type of workflow is okay with you. Like for me, I would play video games 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and then continue on my dissertation, 3 to 5 a.m. During in London. So, as we say, it's a case to case basis.
yeah.
But
Whatever works for
yeah,
each
whatever
person.
works for you. But definitely, always have maintain balance. At least for me, maintain a balance on everything. And, for me, I was there. I was very young. So, I had my moments also, but in the end, I graduated. But some of the best years of my life were actually abroad in Europe. So I hope also you will have some of the best moments of your life there in Barcelona.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes. Ayun. So there you go. I hope our uh, I hope our Parekoys and Marekoys learned something today with regards to experiences on being an international student. I know that it's not easy being an international student during my time back in the city of London and Berlin, especially moving away to a new country and city, adjusting to international cultures, languages, foreign currencies, time differences, and changes in weather, to name a few. Also meeting people, and with Maki's case, in a time of a global pandemic. But life goes on, and we need to keep being hopeful and know that there are brighter and exciting days ahead. So, on behalf of Tarantotoy and Friends team, Maki, we wish you all the best in your academic endeavor. We are very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyway, I
I'll
hope,
wait for you to visit me.
of course, bro. When my parents and I are confident, I'll make sure of that. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you want to keep updated for our podcast, we would greatly appreciate it if you can like, share, and subscribe on our social media accounts. Until the next episode, stay safe and please take care, everyone, wherever you are in this world. Peace out.
Live from the 6th Street, Tarantotoy and Friends.